sound all the alarms, press all the panic buttons.
Yup.
Fire whoever you want.
Wow, I didn't know you were going to be here at this point.
Yeah, that's one of the most indefensible, inexcusable, impossible, unbelievable, unfathomable, unacceptable losses of football I've ever seen in my life.
Well, and Ryan, the reason is because the Broncos won the game. With 2 minutes and 19 seconds, that the Broncos had won the game. The Broncos were 2-3. The Broncos were going into their 11 game days off. Yeah, 3-2. And all was going to be, well, there was still going to be a little bit of chaos, but at least they were going to have won. How the F did they completely melt down that game?
I don't know.
Russell Wilson.
I mean,
that's how the answer is Russell Wilson.
That's where it starts.
Throwing a pick with 2 minutes left, just over 2 minutes left when you're in field goal range.
And the play call there.
Yeah,
but
and the play call.
The decision as well.
The decision, I mean, definitely bad play call, just run the clock, all that sort of stuff. But also, let Russ cook. Late game.
Any other time.
Put the ball. Yes, it's a bad decision. I hate what Russell did much, much, much more than the decision, though. Well, he needs to know so much better. Just take the sack even.
Yeah, I mean, anything would have been better than that. What's crazy is he's not even under pressure.
Nope.
The throw is there. The route is there.
Oh yeah.
Tyree Cleveland is open.
He has like a half step.
Okay.
That might be going away with.
But what I was gonna say is, there's one place you can throw that ball, and it's high and away. To where if Tyree Cleveland makes a great play on the ball, touchdown, everyone's happy. Russ gets to add one to his total. Which I've
literally won to his total.
Legitimately feel like that's what he was trying to do. And we're all happy. To throw that ball low and behind is unbelievable, especially because it's like, that's one thing you should be able to count on Russell Wilson for, is to put the ball in the right place when he's not under pressure.
And who was the ball going to?
Tyree Cleveland.
On who?
Stephon Gilmore.
Wait, what?
Yeah. There's none of it makes sense, and that was very clearly the primary read on the play. Like
he was looking.
It's
there.
exactly, he did the little fake thing, duck down, and looks to the backside, and it's there. It's there, but when you line up and you look and you say it's Tyree on Stephon Gilmore, that's when you go kill,
Yes.
Hand the ball off.
Yeah,
because I can potentially imagine a world where they thought, okay, well, Stephon's going to go over on to Cortland, which I can't remember if Cortland was even on the play. There's a lot to be learned from the rewatch tomorrow. But I imagine there's a world where they didn't expect Stephon Gilmore to be over there.
Right.
As soon as you see him over there, kill.
And right before we break down this play, that game, or the game, this play even more, Ryan, I'm HeMG coming in and says, even though we sad, RK, hit that presenting sponsor.
Thank you. Presented by DraftKings Sportsbook.
Even though we sad.
I hit Melvin Gordon receiving yards tonight.
There you go.
Wow. I hit
the first catch, and he had like 5 more at least.
Melvin Gordon holding on to the rock like it. Wait, his name was down. Like his life depended on it.
So that's one good thing we can take away from this one.
The only good thing from the offense, literally.
Mike
Boone had a screen.
Also, I have to apologize to the comments. At the stages of grief, I'm at the laughing stage. So, this is all funny to me. I totally understand why it's not funny to several other people.
I mean, if you watch that game, there's nothing you can do but laugh.
There's a lot of people in the comments who just say they feel tired.
Yeah,
and
I'm sure. Cried, tired. Probably a lot of people fell asleep before the game was over. They're waking up right now, brushing their teeth, and they're like, this is a loser's pod?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
because how does that happen?
Sometimes when you get so you're pulling an all-nighter, we used to call it the 4 a.m. giggles.
Right.
I think that's where I'm at right now. I'm so exhausted.
Yeah.
Not just from that game, but from 6 years of this shit, man. It's unbelievable the way that this team has the ability to pry defeat from the jaws of victory.
And everything's different.
And this is the worst one. By far of any loss that they've had over this time. Never before have they had the ball in their hands with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left with a 3-point lead.
In a game where you've only given up 6 points.
In field goal range, very
Chip
easily
shot
in field goal range. And found a way to lose that game. That is legitimately fireable offense for people. People could get fired over this, and like I wouldn't even be able to defend them.
And you're 5 games into the season, 5 games into a new coaching staff, and you are at the point where, I mean, those conversations could be had. And remember, this is a new ownership group that owns the team. Rob Walton was at the game tonight, and just what an embarrassment. Not just how the game ended, but the play on the field, just the national media, understandably just dogging the Broncos and the Colts, how awful and embarrassing this game was. And then at overtime, the fans were clearing out at the beginning of overtime. What a statement that was from the fans.
Which, like, come on.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell?
Come on.
It's overtime.
That
what
is
the hell?
quite a statement, though.
It is
for an owner at their, 3rd home game?
Yeah.
Seeing, what the hell is this?
I'll be honest, like, any take you have, as long as it's not, crossing any sort of lines of, you know the lines, I can get with that. I don't think I can get behind leaving the stadium and going into overtime.
Definitely not.
Fair.
One, I think I have to put my foot down and be like, what are you?
Yes.
You came all this way. You've been here for hours. At least stay for the end of the game.
There's 10 minutes left,
but
at most.
They sure as hell didn't miss anything. And we've only talked about one play.
Yep.
There's like 50 things that happened at the end of this game that are just mind-boggling. To be honest, even though it worked out, even going for it on that 4th and 2 didn't make any sense. Because you're in field goal range. And
the overtime one?
No. The one that got them the first down right before the Russ pick. To me, you take a 6-point lead in a game where no one scored a touchdown. You take your chance to do that. Now, I think that Nathaniel Hackett has a huge trust issue with a lot of his players. And so he doesn't trust Brandon McManus to make that field goal. And to be fair, rightfully so. McManus didn't reward him the first time he trusted him. Obviously, that was a crazy kick.
Yeah.
But tonight, can't get the ball up on a chip shot. It gets blocked. So, like, I still would have liked to just kick a field goal there, take a 6-point lead in a game where they have no shot to score a touchdown. But
then we saw that drive they put together, though.
They got close.
That's what happens at the end of football games.
Well, yeah, and especially when your defense has been on the field all night.
And then, I mean, we're just piling on. How about the defense? Fantastic throughout the game, except when it mattered most.
Yep.
They were tired,
what were we talking? Well, no. But this is part of the team that we're dealing with right now. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about how this defense came up huge. Back-to-back series against the San Francisco 49ers. Put the clamps on. Interceptions, fumbles. When it mattered the most, this defense wasn't just great. It was coming up in the best parts. What happened against the Raiders? Defense needed to stop. Raiders went right down, ended the game on them. Same thing happened in this game twice. And
but Bradley Chubb won you the game twice on that drive.
Yeah, but he didn't.
I know. But
it does. I'm not putting this on the defense. I'm just saying that there's so much wear on this defense that they can't come up with the big stops like we thought this defense was capable of just 2 weeks ago.
Totally. Right. But when you leave them on the field like that, like you saw them just panting. Like nobody could make a tackle at the end of the game. That's where most of those yards came from, was just from broken tackles. I leave the game feeling more positive about the defense than I entered.
On the play that I believe forced the field goal in overtime. This was maybe it was the drive before that. DJ Jones makes the stop on Matt Ryan, who's trying to like scramble. Was that the overtime? I think it was in overtime. And had literally already given up on the play because he was so gassed. Like he's just standing there. Yeah. And then he sees Matt Ryan going and he's like, oh, God damn it. And like runs after him and makes the play. Like he makes the play. But you could just tell how gassed those guys were. I want to kind of try to go through these things in order. So there's the decision to go for it on 4th and 2. It works out, so it's fine. But even then I was just like, just kick the field goal. Your defense is not going to allow a touchdown here. Obviously throwing it on 3rd and 4 in that situation is a bad call.
It's an awful call.
Not as bad as the throw. The throw was worse than the call.
Yep.
Much worse.
Because really quick, just on that decision to Nathaniel Hackett sends it into Russ, he's saying Russell Wilson, you get to choose what happens here.
Yes.
I'm going to give you the opportunity to win the game on this throw, but you have to know you can't take like a 15-yard sack. You can't take a strip sack. Not even the worst case scenario. You just go down, you do a self sack, you lose 3 yards, you get the clock rolling until the 2-minute warning, or you make the Colts burn their last timeout if they had one at that point even. So then you take it down to the 2-minute warning, you kick the field goal. So Nathaniel Hackett said, I trust you, Russ.
Yep.
And Russ did one of 2 things you can't do.
With that call, though, I mean, what? There was like 2:07 on the clock, 2:08?
Yeah,
It was
like
2:19.
that.
2:19. So I guess you could, if it's a 6-second play and it's a run, you get to run those 13 seconds out. If it's a pass, you give him an extra 13 seconds.
Yeah, and
like it's not. I don't mind too much. You get the ball in Russ's hands. Tell him to run. Tell him to throw whatever you want. Like the more I think about it, the more I'm fine with putting the ball in Russ's hands in that situation.
Just remember, this so far has not been the Russell Wilson.
Oh, no.
At that point, we're talking about a guy, 4 touchdowns, 2 interceptions on the season at that point.
But he's still Russell Wilson.
He's still 50% Russell Wilson in this game. That's just what he was.
Oh, no, he was terrible, terrible, terrible. But the worst of it came after that.
Yeah. So, I mean, obviously the throw is just unbelievable. Then you give the ball back to the Colts, which, like, you at this point, you deserve for them to have a game-winning drive on you. And first play, Bradley Chubb gets his hand on the ball, lollipop, can of corn, as they call it in baseball, just sitting up there. Somehow, Damari Mathis gets mossed on the play. Like, I thought it was a pick 6 when the ball was in the air.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, he's going to explode, high point this ball, and walk into the end zone.
Yep.
No, not only does he not knock it down, this punt, like a pin it punt or a kickoff, somehow goes into the hands.
Yep.
And at that point, I was like, Jesus.
Yeah.
They might lose.
And that's a blue chip rookie jumping over, a rookie that you got a little bit later in the draft.
Who's playing because,
Exactly.
injuries and all that stuff. But there was another one in that game where Damari Mathis, the ball's right there, and he, like, misses it on the swipe, and it lands in the hands.
There was a missed tackle in there late, too.
So that happens. And then was it the very next play that Bradley Chubb strips it again?
I'm not sure if it was the next one, but one of the next.
Very near to that play, Bradley Chubb gets another strip.
Yep.
This one bounces around on the ground. It's kicked, and somehow it ends up back in the hands of Matt Ryan. To be honest, I don't know if they could have looked at this longer or what they would have ruled. Like, even if just 4 guys dive on that pile, that's Broncos ball. Because Alex Singleton got that ball away from Matt Ryan very fast.
Yeah.
Like, it was like he's on top of it, it's gone.
It was just kind of like shaking around in there.
Yeah, but like the ref had seen that Matt Ryan was on top of it, so he blows it. Again, just unbelievable that you can't fall on that ball.
Yep.
Then they go all the way down, and I'm convinced this is ending in a touchdown.
They get to the 8-yard line.
Yep. They're calling a draw, can't tackle. They're all the way down. I actually thought the one right before they got to the 8 was going to break to the end zone.
Yep.
Thankfully, they get a delay of game.
Because how could they not?
Yeah.
Like, this is the most hilariously disgusting game of football that's maybe ever been played. Of course, there was a false start in that situation.
And Matt Ryan's like yelling at the refs, like trying to, and they're like, dude, I don't know what you want.
There
The clock
honestly
ran
should-
25 seconds.
There shouldn't have been a delay of
No,
game,
there
though,
shouldn't.
because and I'm curious to rewatch that and see what happens. But the officials stopped the game to pull, who was it that they pulled? off?
Nick Bonito.
Nick Bonito off the field, and they did not give them 25
No.
seconds.
He just
after
got
that.
off and like 3 seconds
I think
later, like
Matt
delay
Ryan
game.
probably actually had a case.
Yeah.
I think they can talk about that like up to the booth. The booth can be
Yeah.
like, hey, reset that.
But Bonito, they just
probably
pulled
should
Bonito off. 3 seconds later, delay a game.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
No way. Was that really?
No, it was that bad.
it was.
Everything is happening so fast.
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
even notice
Yeah.
that it was that quick. It's hilarious. Even the refs, calling a timeout. San Diego?
San Diego.
Honestly,
Incredible.
I need to know how that happened.
Yeah, that was
San
just
Diego.
masterful.
Like, it'd be one thing if they were playing the Chargers.
Right.
Which I've seen that happen
Yeah.
once or twice.
That was the first thing when I heard that. I was like, that's funny. He called them the San Diego Chargers. I was like, wait, no.
They're
This is
not
the
playing
Colts.
the Chargers. So then the Broncos are able to get, do a good job of forcing them to kick the field goal. Obviously, overtime starts. I'm thinking if they lose this toss, they're going to lose the game because the defense has to go out there again right after that. I thought the defense did a damn good job to force that to a field goal. Honestly, like I was ready for that to end in a touchdown. By the way, every single time the Colts went on the field, I was waiting for them to try something deep. They didn't even, I don't think they did it once.
No, because they couldn't wait for anything to be deep. Yeah. The pass rush was just killing their offensive line.
Broncos get the ball back and make it look easy going all the way down there, and then the old red zone issues rear their ugly head.
For a third time in the game.
It was crazy. I looked. They were plus 330 on DraftKings at the start of that drive. Then Boone rips off the long run, and they drop down to plus 200. And then the next play is the big Jerry Jeudy. Oh, yeah, it's a screen to Boone, whatever. And then the next play, they give it to Jerry, and it's the big gainer, and they're down to minus 490 or something.
Oh, my God.
Because if it's a tie, everybody gets their money back.
And then...
Right. So 2 plays that made that difference.
And then you get in the red zone... And you just do the very bizarre play calling of just kind of weak handoffs to get nothing. And then when it matters the most is when you're kind of put in an awkward situation. And then instead of just continuing to do what you were doing of running the ball, even though it wasn't working that well, or it got you, 8 yards in 3 plays, you decide to then let Russell Wilson throw the ball. And boy... was that an absolute disaster?
So I just want to go through the plays down here. Let's get to 3rd and 2 at the 6, 2nd and 4. So you have 1st and 10 from the 14.
Yep.
Melvin Gordon right tackle for 3 yards. 2nd and 7 at the 11. Melvin Gordon gets 6 to get it down to 3rd and 2. Man, you got to block this up on 3rd and 2. Like, you just have to be able to get 2.
Yep.
And
you have 2 plays to do it.
Melvin is obviously... white knuckling the hell out of the ball. So he's not running free. You just need to be able to push someone forward, get them off their block, and get this first down. They're not able to get it.
Instead, they're in shotgun. And so they're in shotgun. Meanwhile, the Colts have 5 guys on the line with 2 guys right behind. It's obvious they're sending massive pressure. There's no way you're able to run out of shotgun. And so you have to throw. But then when you throw, you can't. You have to throw it immediately, too, because everybody's right there on the way.
Right. Well, so 3rd and 2, they do run it. And it goes for 1.
Oh, yeah.
And then 4th and 1 comes up, and I am
there you go.
Screaming. Because Russ gets up to the line, and there is no one over the center. It's really like 4th and inches, at least where it looked like it was, based on where the sticks were. And there's just no one over the center, and I'm just sneak.
Yep, that's exactly.
And I'm pretty sure Frank Reich sees it.
Yep.
So he comes screaming down, calls a timeout. And then the Broncos come out, shotgun.
Yep.
They don't like the look. They call timeout, and I'm thinking, okay, they've learned their lesson here. They're going to come out under center. No, they come out in shotgun again, and
at that point you knew.
Yes, I really did. I was like, this is either getting stuffed, like no hoper, for a, just getting a turnover on downs, game over. Or they're going to try to throw this ball and something bad's going to happen.
Really quick, before we get to the play itself, did you guys have an issue with the Broncos going for it?
Not even a little bit.
I had zero issue. This was the 100% right thing to do. You go for the win here.
I won't say 100 just because, man, with the defense being that good.
You just said you had no doubt.
No.
I mean, that's exactly what I'm saying.
I was going to say I'm 99. The only thing I would say is there was what was there? 238. No, never mind. 100%.
And also you have to take into account what just happened to your defense the past 2 drives.
Yep, and you had already called a timeout, so you only have 1 left.
Yeah, and the defense was not as stout as they had been in the first 3 quarters and 10 minutes.
Yeah.
They were completely worn down.
No, I take it back. 100%.
Yep.
100% right call. You're trying to win. But the play call. You're just going to have Russ sit back there and try and trust your matchups, which has not worked at all.
It did on that play. Did on 4th down.
And can we bring up the screenshot? So I got to see the full play. I hate screenshot scouting.
He was wide open.
But I just want to...
Even on a replay, though.
No, but I just want to go over what I think happened here. You're obviously trying to get this flat slant concept with Sutton. You're essentially saying, give me Sutton here. I'll take my chances. He's going to have position on the corner, and I'm going to try and thread it in there and just trust him to fall, to just corral it. What happens, though, is the safety jumps over. I got to see the full play, but I assume that Russ expected the safety to be over where KJ is. So as soon as he looks over here, the safety is taking away what he wanted, which was Cortland on the slant, I think. Then as soon as he sees that safety there, alarms have to be going off.
You gotta look.
Something's on the right because there was only so many players over there, and now one of them is on the left.
Mm-hmm. And not only something, a wide open.
He was over there, waving his arms. You could see it.
Read the field.
You just watch the play develop, and it's just like, there's KJ Hamler wide open. Oh, they're gonna win. Oh, they're gonna win. Oh, they're gonna win. Then bang, Cortland Sutton on the other side for no reason at all.
Yeah,
just you have to see that. You're Russell freaking Wilson.
And also, he didn't even. The thought of running never crossed his mind.
And it's not like there's a gaping hole there, but still, it's not like pressure is beating down on him at that point where he absolutely has to get the ball out right away.
That's what I thought. Is he's sitting there, and he essentially just like yeets it to Cortland, just throws it as hard as he can.
Before the snap, you have to think there's going to be pressure, though. Like, they were making it look like they were sending so many guys, and they do wind up sending quite a few. Like, you got to feel it, but also...
But, Henry, this isn't me and Madden doing, like, knowing what I'm doing before the play and not being able to react. This is Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but at the same time...
You got to be able to adjust to what you see.
Totally, but if you think a blitz is coming, what can't happen on this play is you don't get to throw off. And if he thinks that there's a chance that there's somebody behind him who could just be a half second from hitting his arm, like, you got to get... He came into this play knowing, I need this out fast, That part makes sense.
But that you should have an option for Russ to be able to run.
That's what I was going to say.
Any play like this. So if that's the case, Henry, then it was a really bad play design. I have to imagine that... I mean, it's Russell Wilson.
Play worked. I mean, there's a guy wide open.
Yep, he's wide open.
It's like when you just see a young QB who's still like learning how to read everything, and he panicked. He was so panicked. He threw the football so hard too. When he did make that throw, you got to be able to read the field. Like, it's like a young QB, and it's like Russell Wilson. The amount you're paying him and what he can't make those type of mistakes.
So. I think you're right, Henry, on you have to expect pressure here, which is why the slant was his read. You know, he's just thinking, like, I'm getting single coverage, Cortland Sutton, I'm going to trust my guy to win this game.
And there's another slant, too.
There is.
What?
KJ.
Oh,
wide open on slant.
I mean, I know.
Wide open. It's just inexcusable. You have a wide open receiver in the end zone, 4th down in overtime.
But where I really just don't like this from Russ, other than just missing the wide open guy, is just if you break the pocket here, you cause so much chaos because the defense is fighting for their lives.
Yep.
So as soon as you break the pocket, guys are going to leave their man. And you might get Cortland Sutton wide open. Maybe if you bail right, you see KJ Hamler standing there wide open.
Yeah.
The fact that, you have Russell Wilson, when you bring Russell Wilson in here, that's what you imagine. Russell Magic running around with the game on the line to make a play.
That's going shotgun, though. Like, that's the problem with going shotgun, because the way you get him out of the pocket is by calling play action, and there's no way you can call play action with the look they gave you, because you would not have had time to run play action and back off and make the throw. Now, it turns out everybody was blocked. They dropped a guy in coverage, but when they have 7 guys on the line of scrimmage and they all look like they're going, you can't call play action at shotgun.
But isn't that what makes Russell Wilson so good, kind of like what Ryan was saying, and what we heard from everyone on the offensive side of the ball this offseason and training camp was, oh man, when there's always 2 plays with Russell Wilson at quarterback. The one that's called, and then the one that he creates after, and that's when people get open. That's the chaos that it creates, and we as an offense have the advantage when that happens. Mm-hmm. That's what should have happened here.
Right, and so, Henry, I agree with all of what you're talking about for pre-snap. But as soon as all of those guys bail out of there, if you're Russell Wilson, you just have to be thinking, like, okay, 1, I have time. 2, there's room to run.
You got one-on-ones across the board, though. Like
1-on-0 over there.
Well, I mean, no, I'm talking like blocking. But yeah, out there, yeah, like that's just wide open. We're overthinking it. There was a wide open receiver, and he did not throw the ball to the wide open receiver.
Shout out to the offensive line on this one play.
Yeah, they did a great job.
Yeah, they certainly did.
Actually, Calvin Anderson might have been able to get called for. No, never mind. He's good.
Yeah, I think he's fine.
For illegal man.
Yeah, I was just like, but with how much further he is than all the other guys,
seriously,
I was like, but he's still behind.
It looks really messed up. And there's even more trouble from this play than just Russ missing a wide open KJ Hamler to end the game. And let's break that down right after I tell you about our friends over at DraftKings Sportsbook, where, boy, the live lines, as Henry explained on DraftKings Sportsbook, were just wild, especially at the end of that game. And if you want to get into maybe bet on teams against the Broncos, to bet on the Broncos moving forward, or just to get in on a wild week of football that we've got coming up, tons of college games. We've got an NFL slate where you can sit back and watch and not worry about the Broncos. You're not going to have the stress that you had tonight.
It's just going to keep lasting, to be honest.
Yeah, I think it will. I think it will. But you can get your mind off it maybe by going over to DraftKings Sportsbook, where you can still get $200 in free bets by betting $5 on any team money line to win. And if you place the bet, you get $200 in free bets in your account over at DraftKings Sportsbook. They got this stepped up same game parlays, which make just any game so fun. Like if you had a same game parlay in this game was actually fun tonight, despite the pain of no scoring. If you took unders, I guess. Yeah. Kept it interesting.
Oh,
so
I did
make
have
sure
the under too. Nice.
Oh, there you go. So head to the App Store now, download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now, and use promo code DNVR when you sign up to get this offer.
By the way, a DraftKings user tonight put $10 on no first touchdown score, meaning no touchdown score, at plus 10,000.
That is incredible.
So they won.
$1,000.
Yep.
Incredible.
Incredible.
No touchdowns being scored. Who would have guessed that? So see the terms and restrictions in our show notes.
Look at Rudo here in the chat saying, taking a trip to Spain without the S.
Yeah.
So deep.
Pain. I mean,
Wow.
it's very much the Vic Fangio pain.
Oh, God.
World of suck.
Wow.
Yep.
We are very much in
This
the
is
world of suck right now.
This is worse than that.
If you need to
Where's
get
the
rid of
manual?
all these bad vibes, I know a place where you can go to fix them.
Where?
The Hootenanny. Nobody can be sad at a Hootenanny.
That's true.
Nobody. It's this weekend. It's Breckenridge Brewery. They're celebrating their 32nd birthday. That's a lot of birthdays. And they're celebrating it by bringing in a bunch
Careful.
of
Me and
bands.
Zach are getting close to that.
Okay, old men. But yeah, they've got a whole bunch of like beers and musical acts. And they've got like food out there, all that sort of stuff. So if you're interested in having fun instead of being sad, go to the Hootenanny and make sure you drink Breckenridge beers no matter what. You can use the beer locator at breckbrew.com to see what beers they have near you.
Wade Meyer said we got to delay a game. There's no
I know.
way.
I told him to refresh the page. Sometimes if you have it open before, then it doesn't like update. I don't know. YouTube can be weird sometimes.
Yeah. Well, this is certainly a late one, but it's because the overtime game.
Yep.
Ryan, you want to tell us about us?
We're so good. Tailgate. I had to leave the tailgate a little early tonight.
Yeah.
I'll explain that in just a second. But the tailgate was great when we were there. You can come hang out there. You can come hang out at the DNVR bar. I was told, some notable people actually want to come hang out at the DNVR bar this weekend. So you could be notable as well.
Wow.
And come down and hang out at the DNVR bar. Again, it'll be a stress-free weekend, hopefully, unless you're like me. You'll probably have action on everything just because you want to feel alive. So anyways, come down, hang out with us. Check out the new bar, new menu, new drinks, all that good stuff. It'll be a good time. Real quick. Before the game for me was amazing. And for Allie.
Yeah, tell us.
Yeah, we
about
had
it.
so much fun.
So the homies over at Amazon Prime,
Are they homies?
they are now.
Wow.
They are now. Me and Bezos?
Wow.
No, they
Sell the
reached
team
out
to
to
Bezos.
us. They were like, hey, you guys want to come be a part of this really cool thing? Actually reached out to Henry. Henry was kind enough to pass it along to us.
So kind.
And my God, what a hookup. First of all, it was mostly for Colorado Prime members that you could, if you had put the game on your watch list, you were entered into a drawing. So a bunch of people got invited. They also were like, DNVR's dope. We should invite them. So we got to go, and my God, they hooked it up. So Russell Wilson jerseys for everyone.
Everyone's favorite
Everyone's
person
favorite
right
guy right now.
Wow. Burn them.
I was like, hey, does this have tags on it?
Can I get an Alberto?
Can I get a PS2, please? I was like, a lot of them got custom jerseys. I was like, I would have said my last name's Sertan II.
Oh my goodness.
Anyways, they
But
hooked it up with
before
that.
the game, we got to go into that room.
Yeah, we got to go see Carl Mecklenburg break down some film, which was really cool. And then they brought us out onto the field. Mind you, as a credentialed media member, I've never been on the field for pregame.
We are not allowed.
We're not allowed. So got to a new level I've never been before. All the wives and girlfriends are down there.
Wow.
With their sweet sequined numbers. Talking to the cameras came up to us. We're showing off our TNF on Prime chains they gave us. Those big chains.
Yeah.
So that was great. Thank you to Amazon Prime and specifically the homie Briggs.
Micah Briggs.
Yeah, for hooking it up for us. So
Yeah,
everyone's favorite thing, Thursday Night Football. So electric.
You're a fan of the brand.
Yeah.
I love it. We were talking about being a fan of the NFL.
And by the way, I would have qualified. I am a Amazon Prime member.
Wow. Did you plug that to him? It's like, hey, did you know I actually
I told him about how Allie used to have 4 Amazon Prime members.
Why do you keep telling people?
Wow.
It's an embarrassing thing.
Why would you do that? But yeah,
I
kept making different ones for different emails.
I didn't know, and I realized when I went to my freaking bank statement, I'm like, why am I being charged so much for this?
That's tough. That is tough.
But then I didn't know which emails were which, so I had to log into every single one, and then that accidentally created accounts. But thankfully, it wasn't paid. It was a big mess. Ryan loves to bring this up.
It's hilarious.
It is crazy how players' wives and girlfriends, they have half of the sequins in America. Nobody else has sequins anymore except them.
That's great. That's a good point.
Joann's, Michael's.
Those are stores.
Yeah.
Those aren't people.
All right, we have to move on. Thanks again.
More pain. Let's get back to
you
the
said
pain.
you teased it up. You said there's something also really bad about this play that we haven't talked about.
And obviously, so Russ missed KJ, threw the ball. Court wasn't able to get it. Broncos lose the game there right after the play. KJ Hamler, I look over to him. His hair is popping out because his helmet has just been smashed into the ground. He throws it so hard on the ground. Ryan, you said just everything exploded.
Yeah, you've got all the ear pads, everything flying out. It rolls up to the cameramen, who of course are like, "What an opportunity!"
Smile, KJ.
They love that.
Yeah, it was ugly, and it's something that I watched happen all night long. Now I'm gonna be honest, KJ has a gripe here. Obviously, he had the game won. If Russ just sees it to him, he said he could have walked in. He actually didn't. He could have just been in.
Who wouldn't be frustrated?
But he was doing this all night with the body language, and I don't love seeing that. But it wasn't just him, and I think that's where this is a bigger issue.
It's a big
He
issue.
was throwing his arms and jumping up and down and stomping his feet several times on third down. And then Cortland Sutton, after the Broncos take a knee, obviously there's 5 seconds left in the game. They were taking a knee, so he wasn't frustrated with the knee.
Yeah.
But he takes, as they're walking off the field, as the clock's running down, he takes his mouthpiece and just chucks it. And it's like the frustration within this offense right now is very worrisome. And it could be pointed to a lot of places. But the scariest one, obviously, is if the frustration is being pointed at Russ.
100%. And it's very much to the point where I think everyone is rightfully okay with smashing the panic button outside of the facility. But what you can't have is it be so obvious that guys inside not just the building, but inside the offense are smashing that panic button and losing it, and it's happening. KJ, really quick, with KJ Hamler, after the game, Russell Wilson, according to Lindsey Jones, because we ran here to do to do the post game instead of being in the locker room, Lindsey Jones tweeted that 40 minutes after the game, Russell Wilson had still not done his media availability because he was sitting in his locker, full helmet and pads on, just having a quiet conversation with Nathaniel Hackett. That's a little scary there. And then after the game, you have KJ Hamler tell James Palmer that he would have walked into the end zone. We all see that, KJ. Yeah. That's not something that needs to be out there in a quote like that. And that, to me, is also just like, oh, man, this team, I'm afraid, is starting to lose it. And then in the middle of all of that, you have Nathaniel Hackett say, yeah, this team's staying strong. We're not losing it. As it's kind of like the meme of I'm fine with everything burning around it.
Yes. What do you want KJ to say though? When somebody walks up and says, "What happened on that fourth down?" You seem like you were open.
You say
I would say
Oh, was I? Oh, I hadn't realized.
but you don't. I mean, what he did was
walked
very
in.
much throw his quarterback under the bus, extremely public, after displaying his frustration.
But you can't say
so
like that
much.
didn't happen though. Is the thing?
No, you say, man, the play didn't work out.
what I would say is, man, I was open, but that's football. Like this is not the way it always works out.
It is. I would be more concerned if they weren't upset, if they weren't frustrated. Like if they were just cool and everybody's like, oh yeah, things are going fine. That's an issue.
But this
like,
to me is turning on your team.
I don't know
This
that's
isn't
turning on your
just
team.
frustration.
I think they're like it's boiling over for sure. But again, how could it not boil over? You have not scored at all. You have not scored at all. They all think they're good football players. You have KJ wide open. Of course, after all this, to lose the game, he's going to be frustrated.
Okay,
You
then
think-
what about Cortland? During the game, they still have an opportunity to win.
Totally.
And that's when you can't lose it because they were already losing it, Henry. And I think that shows that it's already it's getting to it's past the tipping point. Maybe not fully. Maybe they can tip it back, but it is to a bad point in my mind.
How could it not be past the tipping point though? That's my thought.
Yeah, I mean, the crazy thing is we've talked about this with the NFL's middle class. The Broncos are going to be 2-3 with a bunch of teams this week. Now, I'm not going to sit here and try and say anymore that they're close or it looks there's things to build on. There's positives. No, they need a massive overhaul. Whether that's just internally, whether that's with play calling, whether that's with the way that you're utilizing Russ, massive changes need to be made. There's no all they just need is a little click. No, they're like 8 clicks away. So
It's disgusting.
yeah, it's shocking is what it really is. Like and it makes you have to question everything we thought about these guys.
The 7-year contract with Russ is concerning to me.
It's
has to be.
it's absolutely concerning. And something else on top of that we didn't really talk about was when I think it's 6 years Nathaniel Hackett's been a play caller. And his play calling to me was very disturbing today. He's been in the top 10. He's been in the top 6 once. He's been in the top 10 once. That was that same year. He's been in the top half of the league in terms of scoring once. That was that same year. When he's been the play caller every other year, the 5 other years, and I think he was fired in 2 of those years, so just keep that into account, they were at the bottom half of the league. And so I did think the Broncos were getting a very fun, exciting play caller, and so far I'm concerned with that as well.
What's crazy is those 2 plays in the overtime, back-to-back to start it, were like thoughtful, creative, good plays. And it was just like, where was this?
Yeah.
Where was this any part of the game? Again, you guys know me. I'm the last to panic.
Yeah.
But there's not very many places to go. And a lot of it for me has to do with the quality of the team they just lost to at home.
Yeah.
Is that Colts team is god-awful.
And we knew that coming in, and then watching it, I was like, they're even worse than we thought they were.
And, I'm going to have to respond to like a million people on Twitter later saying they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Chiefs, they beat the Chiefs. They beat the Chiefs with Jonathan Taylor and Darius Leonard, Shaq Leonard. They're 2 best players.
Shaquille.
2 of their 3 best players maybe if you want to put Quentin Nelson in there, even though he's struggled.
Yeah.
It's a big difference from the team that what we just saw. This is losing to the Browns, last year with Case Keenum and Dearness Johnson all over again.
Yep, on Thursday Night Football.
So that to me is what has me just beside myself is you just played a garbage can of an NFL football team, and the scoreboard says you were worse.
It's
And
crazy.
I just can't do anything but panic.
You walk around and there's like half the fans are wearing an offensive lineman's jersey. That's who they lost to. A team where they're all wearing number 56, Quentin Nelson. You're just like, what the hell is this?
What's going
on? Oh my goodness, how do you lose to them? They have nothing.
And you have them up. You have them. You're up 6-0. Should be 14, obviously. But you have them 6-0, and they haven't done a damn thing all night long. And you just keep getting opportunity. Interception, Caden Stearns. interception, Caden Stearns,
The defense was
opportunity,
so good.
It was so
opportunity, strip sack, like all of these things, and you can't put together one goddamn drive to put them away. And 13 would have done it. One drive.
Well, and then the issues. First, you have the Russ just random lob up to a safety.
Oh, my God.
It's like, what the hell's that? There's 3 points off the
also-
board, minimum. Then
3 with the
You were
McManus
already
miss.
in field goal range. Yep.
You have the pick to Stephon freaking Gilmore, who could have seen that coming. And then you have the terrible decision on 4th down. Like, all of a sudden, those plays go better. There's 6 points. I mean, you can't count overtime points.
No, I mean, there's
there you
9
go.
points. The Russ interception,
Yeah.
the Brandon McManus
true.
missed field goal, and then at the very end of the game, with 2 minutes and 19 seconds left, you kick a field goal there, you run
There
the
you
ball,
go.
kick a field goal. That's 9 points. This game doesn't even come close to overtime.
Yep.
You still only score 16 points. It's still disgusting. Or 15 points. It's still
That would
disgusting.
That would be 18. So it brings up the average.
You're right. It
Brings up the average.
On 6 field goals.
Brings up the average.
Points. That guy still would have won $1,000 on
He would've.
DraftKings.
Yep.
But we would have been sitting here saying there's a lot to fix, but at least it's after a win.
Oh, yeah.
I know, and I was ready for it.
Oh, me too.
Takes are like boiling in my head. I'm like, all right.
Thursday
like,
night.
You got 12 days. You got the dub.
Yep.
That was terrible. I'm worried now.
Do it against the Chargers. You're 4-2, though.
Right, exactly. And now it's like, okay, well, you're staring 2-4 in the face. We have to sit on this stupid fucking loss for 12 days, and there's no way like the vibes are going to be good around the building.
No. I mean, national people are reaching out saying, is the vibe Nathaniel Hackett to be fired?
It's crazy.
5 games in. We're talking October 6th. The season started less than a month ago.
I almost feel like we're insane here. Like in Denver, where it's like everywhere everybody else is saying like, yeah, Richard Sherman's really good in getting Russ. Everybody's on Richard Sherman's side. Here we're like, no, Russ has it. Everybody's like, no, Russ is terrible. What are they thinking? It's like, no, Russ is good. Russ is good. It's like defending. Now all of a sudden it's like, wait, oh no, this is getting bad.
Let me
Getting dark early. As Troy
enter the
Rank would
spin
say.
zone just a little bit.
We need a spin zone.
Does a healthy Russ
Yeah.
make the throw to Tyree Cleveland? Does a healthy Russ, not just throw the ball up playing 500?
No,
He was
not even
missing
on the
throws
injury
earlier,
report.
though.
No,
Yeah.
can't have that.
Okay.
I won't.
I mean, he
Yeah.
also was in the tent
Yeah,
in the game.
He was
after the
for
lollipop interception.
for a head injury.
Exactly.
You would think at this point
Yep.
that
Was it 1 week ago on
that-
Thursday Night Football that this
yes,
happened?
that if he had a head injury,
Yep.
they would have actually taken him out.
I totally agree. But
Gosh, I don't even know.
I
I
mean,
can't give the NFL that much
throwing
credit.
at Stephon Gilmore, not see a KJ Hamler. There is a part of it where it's like, yeah, maybe he was.
But has
But
Russ-
no, there's
I
no
mean,
way.
if
There's
I'm
no
looking
way.
for like threads that I can hang on to, that's the one
Sure,
I'm gonna turn
sure,
to. Is
sure.
like maybe he just wasn't himself.
He
Like,
was concussed.
That throw. I'm more thinking about the shoulder, honestly. Like
That's what I
that
thought
throw
you
to
were talking
Tyree
about. Early
Cleveland,
on, yeah.
where he just throws it behind him. I'm just like, if his shoulder's 100%, does that just have more zip and like get out there instead of tailing back?
If we hadn't been seeing him miss throws for a few
Yeah.
weeks now, and
And-
throughout camp too.
And that's what I was going to say to your first point, Henry, just about why is he throwing to Stephon Gilmore's side? Well, it's not like he's been 3 touchdowns, no interceptions for 2 out of the first 4 weeks.
Yeah.
No, he hasn't. He came into this game 4-1. He leaves this game 4-3. And once again, this Denver Broncos offense is just the laughing stock of the NFL. The Colts offense is so bad, and the Broncos offense was even worse. But once again,
Wait. Okay, go ahead. I got a transmission that I want to pass along.
Oh, I'm
you want
excited.
to hit it now?
Sure. From a source inside the locker room,
Oh boy.
KJ Hamler had the screenshot of how open he was, just going around showing anyone who would look at it.
Oh no.
Showing all of his teammates, look how open I was, look how open I was.
See, that's what you don't.
Are
do.
you okay with that?
No, you don't do that.
Yeah.
When somebody
Why? I
says
didn't
what
think
happened on
so.
4th down, you say, "Oh, I was wide open."
Oh,
That's cool with me.
jeez.
No, that's
Showing
not even cool
the-
with me, but this is ridiculous.
No.
It just is very childish.
First of all, yeah, it's a bad look for KJ,
Yeah.
but it just worries me about where these guys are at.
That's
like
what I'm saying.
that is a direct. You're taking a direct shot at the quarterback of the football team. by going around saying, I was wide open and that idiot missed me.
And imagine,
everyone
like-
knows, too. Everyone is going to see it. If they didn't see it
gonna see it.
already,
They're going to film
see it.
tomorrow.
Yes.
They're going to see it when they pull up Twitter. They're going to see it on film tomorrow. Russ is going to feel awful about it. Russ feels terrible about it. That is not something you do, especially you were targeted once last week. You want the ball again? Don't do that.
You want to know who I think would do something like this?
Who?
Isaiah McKenzie. Who was essentially, like, he was cut because of all the fumbles, but also because of just wild immaturity, and as a player and in the locker room.
Wasn't he cut 5 minutes after doing something wildly immature that we saw firsthand?
We didn't see it. We were part of it.
Yes.
Sua Cravens
Yeah.
had just released like a mixtape or something, but he, for whatever reason, he didn't want the media to see it. So he was like, sorry, like I can't show you guys. And Isaiah McKenzie just runs over to us with his phone and starts playing all the songs for us. He's like, listen to this. And like literally right in front of Sua Cravens. I'm just like,
And then the locker
What's
room,
happening here?
the locker room closes. I kid you not. 1 minute later, we're
see
walking out, and 1 minute after that,
get the Adam Schefter tweet notification.
Isaiah McKenzie has been released.
I feel like it's one thing going and watching it during film review tomorrow, but think of the way you guys felt. Think of the way the chat just felt looking at that screenshot. Like doing it right now, like right after the game when everyone in that locker room's emotions are so high. Like obviously we all just talked about how we understand KJ's frustrations, but like that was just like, oh, can you imagine those guys? They're probably so much more livid, even though they already knew, and even though they're gonna see tomorrow, like seeing it right now, like leaving that stadium knowing we should have won that game, like, oh goodness.
Got all the people saying bring OBJ in. Imagine what OBJ would have done if that was him. Imagine what Jarvis Landry. Imagine what any receiver
not
would
the guy
do.
you want to bring in when the offensive locker room is falling apart. Ryan, that's terrible to hear.
It's really bad.
And it just, because I was really nervous about that coming in, and that just obviously just dumps gas onto it.
I have this theory that the amount of adrenaline that you get from football almost like makes you drunk, and like the way that the things that you see in the locker room is like what you would see at a bar at like 1:30 a.m.
Right.
Just because like these guys are like, and I think I'll give KJ a little bit of a pass there. Like you're so riled up, you're so mad, you're so like, and you just do weird things.
You just can't. You gotta keep it on the inside.
You do.
You just gotta sit there and stare off into the distance until it's time to leave.
You do. So for another week on national media or on national television, the offense just looked terrible. But another week, the defense, for the most part, until the very end of the game, looked really good. And I'm sure we'll break that down. We have plenty of time to do it. But we got to give a shout out to our DraftKings Sportsbook king of the game, and we got it in the super chat, wanting you or in our poll on YouTube, wanting to see who won it. It's between Caden Stearns and Barry Browning. It is a 51% win for Caden Stearns.
It keeps changing. I made both. Do you want to see both?
I want to go with the one that we didn't choose.
Ooh.
You want to go with Baron Browning?
Yep.
Well, I think we got to go with what the people said.
Fine.
That close. If we had both Caden Stearns.
Browning was literally leading for a while, but well, here we go.
I feel like the chat got this one wrong. We also got it wrong before the game. I changed my mind.
I put both of them in there. So we could go with either of them. And honestly, Baron Browning, Caden Stearns had the stats. I mean, 2 interceptions, pretty damn good. Mm-hmm. Both of them, Matt Ryan threw the ball right to him. Good job for Caden Stearns capitalizing, though. We've seen some other guys. And Baron Browning off the edge was fantastic.
I mean, it looked, if you squinted, you would have seen 58 instead of 56.
The jump was Von Miller-esque.
Yep.
I will say, Bradley Chubb, 2.5 sacks, strip sack in there, tackle for loss.
He gets it easily if someone just falls on the stupid football.
That is true. That's a game winner.
The pass rush was great. And just another reason why, like, how did they not win this game? Baron Browning really was the full Von Miller experience. I mean, the jump was insane. The sacks, the
two offsides.
Two offsides.
Someone said,
maybe
"What
you
if
take
you
it
give
away
it to
because
both?"
you got the 2 offsides. Even when they had free plays, they weren't going vertical.
No, they weren't. Oh, there we go. We got a double.
There can only be one king.
King of the game.
King of. Yeah. I mean, it could go either way there. Browning is the one that's like, has the more exciting long-term possibilities. Like Caden Stearns was awesome. He's going to be a nice player for you. Baron Browning looked like a star pass rusher in the NFL.
Yep, he did. He did. Very exciting. Unfortunately, he has a wrist injury. Garrett Bowles, according to Mike Kliss, broke his leg. He's going to be out at least 6 weeks. Honestly, not as bad as it could have been.
Nope.
I mean, it could have been a season-ending injury. Who
wild.
knows? It could end up being a season-ending injury.
It probably won't, though.
It probably won't. But this offensive line that is shaky, to say the least, to be nice to them, now deals with another huge problem there. So we'll see where that goes. Josie Jewell was out with a knee. Who else was out with the knee? Ronald Darby was out with the knee. Broncos had tons of injuries, and we're going to get more updates there tomorrow, so stay tuned.
Gotta have Josie. Although Alex Singleton
He looked really good.
great,
Yep,
but
yep,
I want
yep.
both of them on the field.
Yep,
And
yep,
maybe not
yep.
Jonas Griffith.
No, Jonas. I'm kind of out on Jonas.
I'm not out on Jonas. I just don't think he's your starter.
So you're
Right,
out
just
on
give me,
Jones.
give me,
As a
me
third
Jo-
linebacker, solid.
give me Josie and Alex.
Yep.
I agree. I completely agree. So just, I mean, brutal news on the injury front. It's just dumping salt into what was a terrible night.
This is a wide open wound.
Yes.
Very
Just
wide.
like a wide
A lot
open
of salt.
KJ
Yeah.
Hamler.
Really quickly, I wanted to do this all night, and we haven't gotten to it yet. So let's be fast because we have about 1 million super chats that people want to vent.
Yep.
Top 3 blame game.
One is Russell Wilson easily to me
I think it is too.
One is Russell Wilson easily.
by a margin that I didn't think was possible
Yep.
coming into this season.
Yep.
That was so not him.
Nope. I mean, that first interception was like, what?
I know. The only thing I could think of, again, I'm just like trying to, is like he saw something early in the coverage where he just didn't think there was anyone there, and he's essentially throwing the ball away.
And it just was not even close to
But
a
like
throwaway.
earlier in the game, you have Jerry Jeudy coming across on that big deep over route, and he throws it so vertical that it almost gets intercepted there. It's like, dude, throw it to the sidelines. Jerry's running beeline
Yep.
towards the sideline. You made him like curve it back upfield.
What the hell was that?
I mean, the lob throw is that'll be one of the worst interceptions a quarterback throws this year.
Yep, absolutely.
And then the one that lost them the game would be past that.
Yep,
Yes.
100%.
So yeah, he's number 1. Number 2, Nathaniel Hackett.
I think it has to be. It has to be multiple times put the team in just a head-scratching position. And when I say the team, I mean Russell Wilson. Put him in a position that then Russ went out and made even worse.
Yeah. Henry?
Yeah. I mean, he has to be number 2 just because there's nobody else who really stands out.
And that's what I was going to say. I don't even know if there's a 3.
Yeah.
In terms of like no one else was bad.
In terms of no one else deserves blame, like the blame for this loss.
The offense had 103 yards and 6 points at half?
It's Russ.
Yeah.
It's entirely on Russ.
I think
No,
the
it's a
line
mix
is
of
bad.
Russ and the
Melvin
play
It's
Gordon.
hard.
Well,
Like,
And then
Glasgow
the
got
offensive-
bowled over.
You could go offensive line. Like there was
Yeah.
certain
They had
plays.
some discipline issues.
I mean, Melvin Gordon had 4 rushes, and I'm not saying this is like on Melvin Gordon. This is not Melvin
That's the
Gordon.
thing.
It's just, hate here. 4 rushes for 1 yard in the first half.
Was that really?
Yes.
I felt like he broke a big one in the first half. Was that in the second half?
Yep.
Okay.
Russell Wilson was your leading rusher in the first half. He had 24 yards.
Wait, you just said. Oh, I think you just said Russell Wilson had 4 carries for 1 yard.
No,
Was that Melvin?
Melvin had 4 carries
Okay.
for 1 yard. I'm
Okay.
sorry about that. Russell Wilson was your leading rusher in the first half.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Just the entire offense, number 3. Just absolutely
Yeah,
anemic.
I would probably go offensive line, but that's a very broad stroke to paint.
It's not getting any better anytime
the
soon.
main point I was trying to make with this was
How much it's on those
it's
top
those
2 guys.
2 guys.
Yeah.
Like that's why you
Yeah.
lost the game.
And you know what's so extra unfortunate is those were the 2 guys that were going to turn things around here. And those were the 2 guys that in the offseason you pointed and said, Broncos aren't going to be bad and boring like they've been. They're going to be fun and good because of these 2 guys.
Unreal.
Yep, it
I
really
asked
is.
the chat, so we'll see what the audience
Really
thinks.
is unreal.
I'm just looking at the stats right now. Russell Wilson, 15 carries for 54 yards, 3.6 average.
No, man.
That's what I. Sorry.
Yeah, we're both doing
I was
it.
like, wait, what?
We won't do that. Mike Boone, 7 for 38. He averaged 5.5 a carry.
Yep. He looked good.
He needed to get the ball more. Cortland Sutton, 5 catches for 74 yards. Jerry Jeudy, 3 for 53. Melvin Gordon, 3 for 49. Anyways, let's get to these Super Chats. I am sure they're going to be an absolute blast.
But first, I'm sure you guys are dying to go to Broncos Jets in a couple of weeks. Make sure to get your tickets over at Game Time. Look, guys, the Jets are awful, okay? Broncos have to win that game.
No worse than the Colts.
No
worse than the Colts.
I know. I'm kidding. But I'm sure tickets, serious. I'm sure tickets are going to be much more affordable for that game. Now that the Broncos are 2-3, they may be 2-4 by the time that game comes. They may be 3-3 by the time that game comes. But you may honestly want to start looking for tickets very soon over at Game Time, because typically the closer you get to a game, the worse a team does leading up to that game, the better the tickets are.
If you want to go see them play against the Chargers, you could get in for $50.
Zero fans.
Yeah, your flight plus the ticket may be cheaper than this past 49ers game where the tickets were like $300 just to get in.
For the Jets, its cheapest is $118 right now.
What did I say? The chat is freaking out at me. But anyways, make sure to check out Game Time.
You're saying how bad the Jets are.
Oh, no, yes. Make sure to check out Game Time. You can find our link. Make sure to click our link in the description of the podcast and the YouTube. And by the way, when you're over at YouTube, we got a lot of you guys chiming in. We love all of your support. Please hit us with a thumbs up, subscribe, turn on alerts. We would really appreciate it. And it makes sure that you guys can catch our show when we're going live.
We had some Hassel Cattle Company beef out there today. I had a couple Franks, a couple of. I think when it's like super fancy and good and nice, you don't call it a hot dog anymore.
I feel like it's all about the girth.
Oh,
the thicker,
just
the
a
more
nice
frank it is.
Girthy hot dog. That's a Frank.
Call it Frank. Yep.
What do you call a nice skinny one?
Oh my!
It's a wiener.
Oh no! But yeah, I had a couple of nice Wagyu beef
whoever
Franks.
Had a Frank to get that nickname. Congratulations,
Frank. Oh god! If you want some Hassel Cattle Company Franks, you can actually get 20% off your entire purchase by using the code DNVR20. They've got Franks. They've also got I don't want to say like real, but like steaks.
Yeah.
You know, like the things that you think like Wagyu beef.
Yep.
Like the Franks, obviously incredible. I had to go back for a second one. There's so much.
Did ya?
Yeah.
There's someone in the comments saying, "I thought this was a G-rated chat. I'm
Wow.
scared."
No one ever told you that.
It's DNVR after
that?
dark at
Yeah.
this point.
Oh, big old Frank part. Yeah, a lot of Franks, a lot of the
They're really
brats,
gonna love this read. Aren't
Franks
they?
and brats. They've apparently we've gotten good reviews.
Honestly, it has the people talking.
It has the people talking.
does.
But they have like packs.
Oh my
So you just get, there's one where it's like
What's
for
the
this
code?
steak. DNVR 20 for 20% off. Let me say that again. Thanks for paying attention earlier, Ryan.
I'm just
Hassel
trying to
Cattle
get this
Company. There we go. Fine. I'll be done. Hassel Cattle Company. Get a Frank.
It's actually delicious. I would say steaks that will impress your friends.
There you go.
That's a really high bar too.
You're
Yep.
kid. Oh, you should meet my friends.
A really low bar.
If I had a steak, if friends came over and I had a steak to pull out, they'd be like, "What the hell? Like, where'd you find this?"
Well, don't pull out a Frank.
Okay.
Actually, that is more of a friend food. I feel like.
Yeah.
Have your friend over for
he
Franks.
is
Franks
not
are for
picking up
friends.
on
Franks
it.
for friends.
We do have a lot of super chats if we want to
Okay.
finish up.
Hassel Cattle Company, DNVR 20.
You want to come over to the bar after this?
In the words of
He's just offering
in the
Franks.
words of the comments, what an ad read.
Yeah. Some tasty meats for your friends.
Oh
As,
my
someone, that was someone in our chat.
Always gotta
Not us.
That was someone in our chat.
Wow.
A seal. Shout out.
Honestly, if like 5 people laughed during that, after the way we all felt like an hour ago, that was worth it.
Yeah, it was. Now let's dive into something that I'm sure is going to be very cheery.
Yep.
Our super chats.
Let's do it.
Do you want to keep this poll going or do you want to end it? What do you think?
Just let it roll.
Yeah.
Let it roll. Let the hate
Right now,
flow through
Russ
them.
is winning the poll of who's most to blame.
Yep, by a lot.
Okay, let me make it bigger so you guys can see.
Sweet. First one coming in.
P.
From
Bruce.
P. Bruce.
He said,
Thank you, P. Bruce, for 2 of them.
Wow.
Oh gosh.
P. Bruce must love
Those are
us.
all super chats.
Oh, yep.
Okay. Fans leaving in OT, that is one of the lowest moments we've ever seen in recent memory. Think it was worse than the Super Bowl L.
Wow.
Let's keep our heads up.
I was thinking of the
Disagree
last
with
Super
that.
Bowl when he said that, and I was like, wait, yes, it was. And then I was like, oh, that Super Bowl.
Yeah,
That
I
has
mean,
to be lower.
This still was a Week 5 game, but the fans leaving in overtime. When I brought that up, and I was saying that made a statement, I wouldn't have left if I was a fan, but I think that makes a very big statement to the owners, to the team, just about how the fans view this. Guys, booing this team was not the norm until
No.
I don't know, 2 years ago. I mean, maybe the year right before COVID.
It was the Peyton Manning Jags.
But that
game.
was once.
Yeah,
I mean, there was one boo then, and then there's been boos here and there. There's
Every
been
game.
3 Broncos home games, and now it's a Philadelphia Eagles crowd.
is.
Now,
Hey,
not
hey,
this
Evil.
year. The Eagles are good this year, but I mean,
They'll
it
still
is
boo.
like it is very much
true.
expected. The first boo came with about 10 minutes left in the second quarter, and then they just kept raining in, and that's just where we're at now.
There was
I
a
will-
guy in our section trying to start a Teddy Two
Oh,
Gloves
so
challenge.
Oh my
bad.
gosh!
Bro,
It didn't pick up from what I could hear.
Thank God.
As a Philadelphia born and raised boo person,
A boo person.
I do think that there
Halloween
was a
season.
lot of the boos at the beginning of the game that just didn't make sense.
I hate booing
It
when
was-
the team is winning. Now,
Towards the end,
Doesn't
when
matter 'cause they
the
lost,
interception, there was a few. I was like, okay, this is appropriate booing. There was other times where I was like, what are you doing?
the craziest thing about that interception, it was the furthest place a play could happen from where our seats were, and it was so nonchalant that I was like, did I miss something here?
Yeah.
Like he caught it so easily and didn't even really celebrate. He just jogged out of the back of the end zone, and I was like, what just happened? Was there a whistle that I missed?
Which one are
Like,
you talking about?
The one in the back of the end zone on 3rd and 4.
Oh, at the end of the game.
Yes.
Yep.
He threw that pick. The guy caught it. Stephon Gilmore caught it and just jogged out of bounds, flipped the ball to the ref, and I was like, was there a whistle that I missed? What is just happened? That was
For like a game altering pick.
yes. You would think he'd be going crazy.
Yes.
I guess
He was like
Gilmore.
He was like it was too easy.
Yeah, but just in terms of booing, I probably would have been
Yeah,
booing
right,
too if
right,
I
right,
knew
that,
what actually just
right,
happened.
right. That's a
And I
good point.
tweeted 5 minutes later. I'm like, I still can't believe that just happened.
Yep.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe any of it happened.
Me
Yep.
either. All right, let's get them back going. From Used Musician, worst offensive line since Peyton. We're the joke of the NFL.
No,
Just
just worst
offense.
offense. Worst offense since Peyton Manning.
Yes. I mean, it's
Well,
more in like
worst
that post
offense in the
Peyton era.
post Peyton Manning.
But I mean that
since okay. I took
this is worse than that 2015 offense.
Oh yeah.
Yes, this is
What are they averaging per game now?
they're averaging
11?
I think it's 14.
14?
Somehow it still is.
We were joking about the Bears on the tailgate setting back football. Everyone that went to that game should have got a commemorative leather helmet for what that game just did to the
Wow.
game of football.
They should have.
That is
Oof.
brutal, and it's true, unfortunately.
All right, Stephen Sholey says, fire Hackett, pay Russ his money to walk away. Unacceptable. The offense and its players and staff are a joke. Drops, bad play designs, garbage.
There's obviously plenty of time to talk about if there's a big concern for Russ moving forward, but now that's a conversation. Unfortunately, you can't pay Russ to walk away.
Not for another 4 or 5 years,
is,
probably.
he is very much here.
But there's a lot of things going wrong on offense. Up until today, it wasn't Russ as one of the bigger problems. So
Agreed.
you're going to have to figure it out with him, and I think that can be done. That's a
hope-
conversation for another day. No one wants to hear that right now.
I hope so. Hey, nailed your name pronunciation. I see.
Wow.
I'm happy to make you proud. Something I don't do every day.
That's true.
James,
What'd you call me earlier? Henry? Oh my god. Had to do another take of that video.
We did our takeaways.
Yeah. Here with Henry.
It's a
like,
tough day
what?
for everyone. out
Yeah.
there.
Okay, we'll do it again.
not as bad as San Diego, but it's close.
That is true.
And then right after he says, timeout, Indianapolis.
Yeah.
He really
Everybody
puts the,
cheers because
Did
it's
he,
of the day.
I think the crowd was so loud that did he laughing at himself after
Yes.
he said
Yeah.
that was great. All right. From James, this is so bad. I never want to hear about Russ cooking again. He's washed. Seattle and Pete Carroll were right. The Broncos severely misjudged everything.
kind of
It's
like
too early.
It is,
But
I don't.
your
I don't
mind
blame
is
anyone
open
for
to
feeling this way.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
your mind has to open to the possibility.
And to Henry's point earlier, Richard Sherman, Pete Carroll, those guys, it's not just one laugh that they're having. They are completely feeling justified for what they've said, what the Seahawks traded and got for him. They think right now that they fleeced the Broncos.
I mean, yeah. And they're, a win away from having a better record.
Russell Wilson
Their offense is eons better.
My goodness.
Their quarterback has better stats by a lot.
Yeah. The Broncos need to play the Lions. Come on. At least it'll be exciting.
True.
I can't. I cannot guarantee anything.
Oh, no.
Russell Wilson is better than Drew Lock, but
No.
I think Drew might have won tonight.
Stop.
I think Drew might have won tonight.
I don't.
Russell Wilson's first pick looked like a Drew pick.
I don't even know if Drew had one that bad.
Maybe not.
Yeah, exactly. He hit Kendall in the end zone. Oh, sorry, no.
He hit KJ in the end zone. Talk about similarities. The very end of the game, Broncos coming back against the I think they were Los Angeles Chargers, but maybe San Diego
No,
Chargers
they were Los
at
Angeles.
that point. And Drew does hit KJ to win the game.
What did he do first? Broke the pocket.
Yep.
Just a mad scramble.
Yep.
Everyone's, do I go stop him? Do I stay with my guy? And he just flips it to KJ.
Yep.
All
Shout
right.
out David. Super intern producer David over at PHNX.
PHNX.
Go
producer David. Not quite saying fire hack it yet, but the Broncos don't have years to figure this out. Russ is old, getting older, got to figure it out ASAP. I don't know. If you thought that from the start, then this was a bad move. I don't think it was ever thought in the Broncos organization of we got to win this year.
Yep.
No, this year wasn't it, but we're kind of saying this year's your year to be good. Next year's your year to really get going.
Right now, they have nothing to build off of.
On offense, certainly
Not right now.
Yeah, there's.
You can build off of
What do you do?
Baron Browning looking awesome and Melvin Gordon not fumbling.
But you bring in a receiver. Oh wait, you have Cortland Sutton, Tim Patrick on big contracts. Jerry's still there. What are you? I guess you could pay an offensive lineman still, but you move Bowles. That's expensive. But we're getting way ahead of ourselves. It's week 5. But
Hey, Billy Turner was active tonight.
Once all
He was.
22 comes out
Didn't
this
play.
week, I gotta watch Jerry Jeudy on 20 straight plays. What?
Jerry Jeudy was.
Where is he? What is he doing?
Jerry Jeudy was completely a non-factor until the very last drive when he did catch a 20-yard pass. He
did.
And
Schemed
make
open.
make
Good
his stats look respectable. But I mean, just a non-factor. And I'm not saying that's entirely on him. But you have Jerry Jeudy. You have to get him involved.
Tell me you didn't think he was gonna drop it as that ball was sailing towards him.
He had to be thinking catch this.
it kind of floated too.
I know, it's just
Or it's
sitting
like
up there, and I
that's-
was like, oh no, oh
There's
no,
just so
oh,
much
God.
time to think
Yeah.
things, and
Yeah.
I was just hoping he wasn't thinking things.
Did feel like it was in the air for a year.
Yeah.
I was like,
Just
I
get
was
that.
like, he's gonna drop this. No way he could drop this.
How
He's gonna
many
drop
of those
this. No
were
way.
there?
Caught it.
How many times was there a ball where it's why did that take so long? Just get him the damn ball,
Yeah.
and it would have worked out much better. There's 2 up the sideline, kind of not back to back. I think actually back to back. Neither of them were all that close. Sutton broke the wrong way on one of them.
Oh, both
that
of those
first one
on,
where it's well, yeah, and
That was really
we haven't
bad.
talked about those tight ends. Saubert.
drops.
Saubert has that one. Beck has the one that he just can't hold on
Touchdown.
to.
Alberto
throw.
has a catch.
Big
Yep.
day.
Right on, Albert.
Big day.
Yeah, I put just a tiny little sprinkle on Alberto first touchdown.
Oh, God.
I could still hit next week.
No.
That'd be a great thing for DraftKings to do. Roll them all over.
All right, next one.
Oh, hold on. I'm doing something. Keep talking for a
Oh,
second.
okay. So anyways, that bet could hit next week.
RG sent me the video of Henry and Zach, and Zach calling him.
wow.
wow.
RG, thanks for tuning in.
All right, are you guys ready?
Yes, let's see it.
Oh. I
Oh.
didn't click it.
Zach Stevens, Henry Chisholm. Whoa! Henry. Zach Stevens, Henry Chisholm. Whoa! Henry.
Up on Chisholm too.
There
Like
was.
Chisholm.
He was in his head after
Henry
Henry.
Chisholm.
I was in my head, and then I was
He knew he was gonna
only
fumble.
just like Melvin, I was only focusing on holding on to the ball the next one.
Henry, how did your shoulder get so wrinkled?
Oh no. I don't know what I was doing.
So probably just sitting like this the whole game, just tensed up, waiting for something to
Yeah,
happen.
at the end of that
The
game.
comments are
I was-
just imitating.
I was unbelievably stressed at the end of that game.
Yeah.
Oh,
me too.
yeah. So
Especially
bad.
because the game was over before.
I was full clenched.
Because I
started.
knew there was the repercussions of losing were so vast.
Yep.
The repercussions of a an overtime comeback. That would have been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't wipe away the other.
That's what I was sitting
60
there. I was
minutes,
like,
but-
man, I've just been sitting here watching this garbage game for all this time. If I get to see a walk-off touchdown, like that's
It
good
is
enough for
It's
me.
going to be
Yep.
awesome.
Just-
Yeah.
But I was like straight up like leaning on Allie, just like something please happen. Please. That was not a good feeling, just praying for anything good to happen.
No. And something happened already.
And there was just a sinking feeling. At least I talked to Spencer after the game. Spencer's like, I was 100% sure we were scoring a touchdown on that drive. I was like, wow, that's about the opposite. I was about 0% sure they were scoring a touchdown on that drive.
If Russ's interception throw was actually like a touchdown to get the go-ahead lead, and then the Broncos got scored on, and then that final drive was Russ to win the game, I'd feel 100% confident.
Yeah.
But no, Russ had just messed it up.
You know, I did think like, okay, this is total Russ. Like, go redeem yourself.
Yeah.
And maybe that's what Nathaniel Hackett's thinking when he called that play. But for him to not, he just didn't look himself all night.
This isn't about Russ anymore.
No, certainly not.
You got and now I still think like you got to let Russ cook and get heated up early in the game, but when it matters the most, you can't just be doing stuff to get Russ touchdowns now.
Oh man, I think they really like. I think they keep thinking they have these plays.
Yeah.
And they're like, this is gonna work right here. And I think that one on third down was one of them. And to be fair, good throw. It's probably a touchdown.
Yep.
It has to be a great throw.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
It didn't. It just had to be on the right side of the player.
It's Stephon Gilmore though. Like he's getting an arm in there.
Tyree
Yeah. So
Cleveland.
put it in a place
Exactly.
where all he can do is dive and get an arm in there.
Was that Tyree Cleveland's first target of the year?
Probably.
Wow.
Probably.
I mean that's just context as well. That's just like situational awareness. What are you doing? Like you said, when you see that, you check it. You look
Yeah.
somewhere else.
it really is one of those not worth it type of
No,
plays.
not at all. Not
Tyree
at all.
Cleveland on Stephon Gilmore.
Doesn't
That's
make
an
sense.
instant kill.
Yep.
You're winning.
Yep. Just take the self sack. Pull a Peyton.
I have another video to just show. Look at
Oh,
boy.
jeez.
the
Just at the end of the
anger.
game. Oh, geez, right after. Oh no.
Oh, you filmed him?
Look at just the
Yeah.
pure.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to see the whole thing where, like, yeah, that's fine. You could see just me watching the play, like, and that's just my look the whole time because I just had no confidence.
Yep.
Alex.
I'm just like, what did I just watch?
Oh, super quick. How about that Andrew Beck drop kick the ball into the stands almost during the almost touchdown that he had when he caught the ball in the end zone and then it fell out of his hands and he kicked it on his way
purpose?
out.
No,
it was on his way down. Did you not see the
Oh,
ball?
no.
it was
Dude,
wild.
It is
It's like a rocket.
It looks like a cartoon.
It does.
I kid you. Oh, it
Unbelievable.
explodes out of
Unbelievable.
there.
It was crazy.
It
We
is.
should put like a little sound effect on that.
Because I had thought he caught it.
Yeah.
I think we both did. We thought he caught it, and all of a sudden the
your
ball's just
angle,
like
yeah.
flying that way. It's like, wait, what?
It flies like it is fake. It is shot out of a rocket, harder
Yeah.
than Russell Wilson's throw.
Like it's harder than
my
a kick.
yes,
Like it's
yes,
harder
yes.
than just like a field goal kick or like any sort. Like it's like a. Phew.
It was mind blowing.
It was unbelievable.
It's just what's mind blowing to me is that route is being run for Andrew Beck.
Right. Yep.
But that's
Yeah.
where they're at the tight end position. He's probably like
Yeah.
other than Alberto, which I would much prefer Alberto in that position. To
Yeah.
to be honest. But after that, he's your most athletic option at the position.
But then how in that moment with the tight ends where they are, how is Jerry Jeudy not more involved?
I don't know.
I mean, nothing makes sense here.
Yep.
All right, we still got 17 more super chats.
All right. Jesus Christ.
Eric just messaged me like, hey, make sure the guys come down when you get done because there's some members that want to meet them. And I was like, sounds good.
you in
Just
an
so
hour.
you know, we have 18 super chats now.
Oh,
So
18.
it's going to be a while.
Let's
All right.
Alright.
Let us go have a beer.
No beer.
William, man, this hurts so bad. Thank God we have this pod. I feel the exact same way.
Yep.
Like
Get it
Needed
all
this
out.
so bad.
Yep, me too. And it's past midnight. We're Friday morning
my
pod
God.
right now. So
Yeah.
Does
Allie,
that
do we
mean
have
this
anything in the
count?
morning tomorrow?
Does this mean that counts as tomorrow's show? You know,
let's
like,
just do some more reads right now.
If we, the next hour is essentially our Friday pod.
That is true.
I'm down.
I can split it up. I mean, we have 18
Wow.
super
We
You
just
guys
do
want to
it,
hear
yeah.
about Castle Cattle coming in?
Frank.
Do you guys want
those
some
Franks.
bread brews? I can go
Late
grab
night
some.
Franks.
Keep them rolling.
All
Everyone
right.
deserves a voice.
Rolling.
Our hack says Mike Boone was cutting up the field and in a rhythm. I bet my life savings he'd have bursted through the line for that 4th and 1.
Just sneak the ball.
Yep, it made so much sense. It was
Or
there.
just throw it to the wide open receiver. You're
Yeah.
Russell Wilson.
A lot of options better than the one that happened. I still haven't seen like a full replay of that throw. Did it hit Cortland in the hands?
I
don't
didn't
think
see
so.
it either.
No,
Can someone like send that to us?
I don't know if we can play it on here.
We can.
Well,
play
no,
it
I
on
just want
here.
to watch it on my phone
Oh,
and
yeah,
be like,
yeah.
what happened? All right. Next one. From G Vega. I'm convinced every time you guys touch wood, you manifest bad juju. I cringe when I hear and we'll touch wood on this one. My God, just stop. Wow, what a weird thing to bring up today.
What did
Maybe
we
the
say?
wood is
Stop
bad luck.
doing that.
No, it's we've been. Oh, well, I mean,
Maybe
the
it's
evidence is
this
pretty
year.
damn.
What do we think, Hank? He
I mean-
just watched the play.
you're
it
not
hit
getting the
Cortland's
ball
hands?
past Gilmore. No, it didn't.
why are
Gilmore
we still
jumped in
going at
front.
Gilmore?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess you kind of understand the logic of, well, Tyree Cleveland couldn't beat Stephon Gilmore. Maybe Cortland Sutton can.
It was telegraphed to Cortland.
So bad.
The whole play.
Yeah, it was. It was. Wait, could Russ have ran? Dude, all the time. Yes, all the time.
think
in the
so?
world. Yes, 100%. Maybe not ran for the first down, but I mean, he could have run to buy
probably.
time.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, the
potentially.
edges were there.
Yeah, yeah. All right, let's get to another one here. Next one coming in from Steven C. Says Garrett Bowles put more effort trying to stop the scoop and score than Jerry does with any ball out of place.
Yeah, he
Yep.
could have dove for that one.
He could have.
Forgot about
Yep.
that.
He would have
Yep.
gotten hit, and I don't think he would have caught
been
it.
destroyed.
But
if he
for
dove?
the hit.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
that
he
safety
would've
was coming
been
over.
hit pretty hard.
All right.
But still, he didn't.
He didn't do
try.
it.
Yeah.
Next one.
A lot of people wouldn't.
Nathaniel Hackett calls plays like, I play Madden when I'm drunk.
Wow.
Wow.
If I'm drunk,
Typically, you
I
get,
just
like,
throw
creative,
every time.
Right. That's what I do every time, anyways.
Oh,
Maybe I'm not. very
Shout out
good.
to the homie Shane from PHNX who just sent me the play so I could watch it.
Oh, there
too.
we go.
Wow.
And
He
Shane's
also
tuning
sent
in,
a
too.
super
Yeah, we
chat,
got a super
so-
chat from him
Wow.
right here.
It's funny because I watched their ASU postgame show after they lost to Eastern Michigan.
And derailed it to talk about buffs.
I didn't mean to do that. I was just venting my own personal issues. But yeah, I feel like he's probably feeling the same thing. Like, I really enjoyed watching their postgame show.
Right. And Shane says in a super chat, says, feel for you guys, but I never want to sweat a first touchdown scorer in overtime ever again.
I was so ready for my Alberto touchdown to hit and
man.
me be like, wow, I can't believe this just hit in overtime.
Yeah, you would have been mad that couldn't have been like parlayed into like an overtime first down Alberto touchdown score, and then you wouldn't be on this pod because you would have retired after that.
That is legitimate.
Yep.
Oh my God, that is so bad.
When Ryan Ross is this play, I'll read the next one coming in from Steven C. From Steven C. He says Garrett Bowles put more effort trying to stop the scoop and score than Jerry does with any ball out plays. Okay, we've read that one. Orange says we all know that if we don't perform at work, we get fired, and Hackett's coaching is atrocious. No excuses for him. I don't care anymore. Peyton needs to do something. I mean, the crazy thing is they have 11 days until their next game. Now, you probably wouldn't make a big move until later in the season.
Yep.
But there is the time to do it, which is crazy, and why people are already speculating could something happen.
What do you even do though?
You don't.
You can't promote Evero.
You can.
Can't promote Outen. Oh, that'd be bold.
I mean, I think a fair question is Hackett, are you gonna change the way you call plays? Maybe it's Justin Outen's. I mean, Nathaniel's not gonna give up play calling right now, but
No.
maybe there's something where he does something to take something off his play. I mean, something has to change.
Something has to change.
Because this offense is so bad.
Honestly, oh God, this is such a scapegoat. He does not deserve this. But the move that might make sense is firing Justin out and bringing in an actual offensive coordinator.
And a play caller.
and at least someone who can help with play
I just don't know who that is,
yeah,
though.
who are you doing that?
Again, I'm not even advocating for it because
No.
it's so messed up for Justin Allen to fall on that sword.
Right. Right.
Here's the thing. When a coach gets fired in the middle of the season, it's usually because they've lost the locker room. And I don't think we're at that stage. He's making massive mistakes, and that is certainly worth something. But it would be weird to do that. Again, I talked about this when the Buffs fired Carl Durrell. All this does is make the job harder for the rest of the assistants.
It does, but when the team is on the edge of teetering, has he lost the locker room? What?
Why you got to do that?
No, just like
did I
the
do?
edge of teetering.
It's just like
It's
almost
teetering, but
no,
it's
almost
teetering on the edge.
almost teetering. They're about to teeter. The edge of teetering.
Has he lost the locker room?
I honestly don't think so.
So then
at
when
all.
KJ's doing this stuff, what is it?
It's KJ being an immature, however
But
old,
then you have
23-year-old.
Portland doing it too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
everybody's incredibly frustrated. I don't
think
think they're like
So it's almost teetering.
Sure.
the edge of teetering. I think
The
you're
edge
right.
of teetering.
No, actually, you were spot on. Yeah,
Put that one in the Hall of Fame.
edge of teetering.
Hope is not good.
Hope is not good.
I'm on the edge of teetering. It's 12:17 in the morning after a brutal, terrible, gut-wrenching game. And Allie, we did hit that one. From
Oh,
our
we did?
hack.
Okay, I
Yes.
just want to
Yes.
make sure.
Twice, I think.
Nick
No,
says,
no.
watch the reaction from the wide receiver sitting on the bench again after Russ gets out of the blue tent. He's walking down the bench saying something to the wide receivers on the bench. Their expressions said it all. There's actually a picture, and I don't remember
Melvin.
who tweeted it. Yeah, but it's Russ sitting on the bench, squirting some water in his mouth, and Melvin's just looking at him and like, I don't even know what the word is.
And he's like scouring at him, but again,
just random,
a
probably.
screenshot of like a
Yeah.
random
Yeah.
part of his face
Yeah,
as
yeah,
he's
yeah.
walking by.
Yeah, but I mean, if someone's like pulling that, it could be that, or he's lost everyone.
I don't think that's possible.
If you don't have Russ, you have nothing, and they have to know that. But I mean, it's all right to be a little concerned.
You want to know the darkest thought I've had so far today?
What?
This next super chat.
That the Bronco is it? Oh
No, it's not.
Eh?
This next super chat's
no,
pretty
the
depressing.
darkest thought I've had all day is what if the Broncos have a top 5 pick that they can't make?
Oh,
and that
wow.
Pete Carroll and Seattle gets after all this smack talk.
Top 5 is probably a little
They go get
asinine,
Bryce
but like
Young.
even top 10,
Yep. Broncos are used to top 10.
top
picks.
15 is a massive L.
Yep, terrible. Because that's something we said is this trade the Broncos gave up a lot, but it's not actually as much as it seems because it's going to be a pick in the 20s, which you could blow easily.
Yep.
And right now it's probably not that. Right now it is probably in the 15-10 range.
The Seahawks could potentially draft their future franchise quarterback with the Broncos pick.
Sickening.
It would be.
Sickening.
It's sickening,
This
yeah.
is really the first time where I've thought, shit, could the Seahawks win the trade?
Maybe we need a sickening shirt.
Sickening.
Maybe that's like the new.
That's our rallying cry. This is also sickening.
Sickening.
Next.
This is the super chat I was saying, which may be even worse than your dark dream, Ryan.
Broncos would have the 9th pick right now, by the way.
I'm now a Jets fan.
Used to
They
that.
have the better quarterback.
Flacco.
Yeah, I don't know if
Flacco
that's
came back to
true,
earth.
but if that's true,
Zach
I
Wilson's
sat
bad.
next to a
That
Jets
sucks.
fan tonight.
okay.
Just as
What was
tortured as
What
we
was
are.
a
Yeah.
Jets fan doing at the game?
Working.
Fan at the NFL? Working.
Yeah.
Working.
Yeah, working for Amazon.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. I thought you were saying like a scout.
Oh,
Just
no.
scouting. Next one from Silent One says everything that is new with the Broncos is bad. Hackett, Russ, Peyton. However, the worst new thing of the Broncos is the ownership.
What a take.
Just wait.
I don't know if the ownership could be worse than that. They don't even get opportunities.
It's a rough start. Yeah.
If the ownership is bad, I mean the ownership. If all the rest is bad, the ownership can wipe them out, and in 2 or 3 years, everything can be good again. Well, probably longer with that with Russ's contract. But if the ownership is bad, yikes. But we have nothing to point that the ownership is bad.
What's the Broncos' record if they just listened to me and hired Mike McDaniel?
3-2.
Oh, only one. I think they win this one and the Seahawks.
I think
They
beat
still have those
Seahawks.
weapons. Oh,
What's the other game they lost? Oh, Raiders.
That one, they got
No.
so run all over that I don't think any coach could have done anything about it.
I could see 4-1. Yeah.
I think so
I'm
too.
saying they're holding on to the 49ers and Texans probably.
So if you're listening, Waltons, just let me make the next
Oh
time.
my God! Every podcast, are you going to
Oh,
make a play
boy.
for you to be the head coach?
Oh, boy.
No, I don't want to be the head coach of the Broncos. I want to be the head coach of the Buffs. But
Why
I want
not
to make
both?
the hires for the Broncos.
Why not both?
Okay.
Sure. I'm free on Saturdays and Sundays.
I would like that and would not like that.
Oh.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I
She said
was like,
she
oh.
would like that. That means she hates your guts because you
Wow.
would never be home if you were a head coach for 2 teams.
He might be.
No,
He-
never.
He would find a way.
Jorge says Wilson is a disaster as a player and so full of himself it's sickening. Post presser, never seen a man talk so much and say so little. I didn't see it.
Yeah, people
Yeah.
are.
No, can't comment.
DMAC tweeted it, and it has
D-Mac's
53
live
responses.
tweets are the
What did
worst.
D-Mac say?
He said, "This is long, but worth the listen. Is it motivational or delusional? And hang on for a sad let's ride." It has 53 responses and 43 likes, so it is being ratioed. It is a 3-minute clip. I was going to ask if you guys wanted to play it, but it's pretty long.
Play
Yeah,
it. Where are
let's
we
go.
going?
All right, hold on.
When-
I brought it up on my phone.
When you upload that, Allie, I'll get to another super chat from Dale Cerna 1 says loss with Hackett cut loss with Hackett and spend money on Sean Payton. It's been picking up a lot of steam in the past week.
If you can go get a top 3 NFL coach, there's no reason not to. I do, but you just have to think that you can actually go do that.
Could you have him by next Sunday?
See,
Next
and that's
Monday,
the thing
you
is
get an
like
extra day.
Oh, right.
it is also one of those things where it's like everybody says, just go sign OBJ. Just go sign OBJ. And it's like, well, yeah, I'm sure the Broncos would love to sign OBJ, but guess who else would? The Bills and the Chargers and the Saints and basically half the league would love to
OBJ is
sign
going
OBJ.
to whatever team he thinks that wants him, that he thinks has the best chance of winning the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
just like Sean
exactly.
Payton.
Say hi.
Just
Oregon.
like Sean Payton.
Hey.
Hey,
We've
what's
got the
going
members
on?
brought up here
Got
since
the
you guys
homies
have so
in the
many
house.
Okay.
super chats.
Awesome, love it. And coming into this game on a lot of outlets, Nathaniel Hackett was the second favorite coach to be fired.
Yep. He was
I don't
right
think
next
he
to
moved into
Frank
number
Reich.
one.
Yikes.
He didn't move into number one.
And Matt Rule was the number 1 guy.
Yep, Matt Rule, number 1. I think there was actually one in between on the list I saw before Hackett.
Yep. Okay. But, I mean, he's up there, and tonight's not going to help him much at all.
It will not.
All right, do we have the video?
I do. Are you ready? Do you want to? Okay.
I don't know
Let's
if
hit
we're
it.
ready for this.
All right.
This is,
I'm gonna mute you guys though, or do you want to like give your live reaction?
Maybe live reaction.
I'm,
Sure. When it's
Sure.
I'm gonna
12,
lower you a
4
little
in the
then, so
morning.
that like the
Yeah.
video is
What could go wrong?
the big.
all right,
the
let's do
audio.
this.
Brace
We're all here for
yourself,
the long
brace
haul.
yourself. 3 minutes and 10
came in
seconds.
here as somewhat of a hired gun.
Interesting angle.
You know, where you're expected to carry this franchise, hadn't been to the playoffs in 6 years, and you are to be the one to lift the team. Do you feel that, and is that an adjustment for you, that type of burden?
No. No, that's what I know. You know, that's the job, that's the role. I think we've had some really good games and tough, tight games. Felt like we, we were able to finish games and find ways to win before. Unfortunately, tonight we didn't. I told you before, you know, every game has a history of its own. I got to look at this. I got to look at this and see where I can get better. I was battling, obviously, the shoulder and all that, and just trying to play. And you know, a quick week, and we should have won that game. You know, we should have won it. You know, it's like I said, it's on me. But I think that, you know, the one thing that I know, is I've gone through tough times before. And gone through obstacles, gone through challenges, gone through highs, gone through lows, a lot of highs, you know, several lows. Nobody's gonna ever get me discouraged, ever. And that's what I know. That's what I believe. That's all I've ever known. There's so much opportunity. I always look at the opportunity, not the negativity part of it all. And so I'm grateful just to be out there tonight and battle, throughout the week and stuff like that. To be out there and to be able to play tonight. said, I didn't come up with the way I know how to. Tonight, felt like we could have. Like I said, it let us down. But I know I'm a winner. I know that I'm a battler. I know that I'm going to keep going and keep believing. There's so much season left. Like I said, there's so much opportunity left, and I believe in these guys every day. And I know they believe in me too. We believe in each other. And so I'm looking forward to turning it around. I'm looking forward to turning it around because when we do, it's going to be a special story. When we do, and there's no other way to think because that's all I know. And I'm looking forward to the challenge of it all. I'm looking forward to the adversity of it all, and to the negativity of it all, and everything else because just use that for fuel and opportunity. And when we do, it's going to be an exciting time because there's a lot of great guys in that locker room that work their butts off every day. And just to have the opportunity to help lead them, even though I didn't get to do it tonight the right way I wanted to and that way I know how to, I'm grateful for them battling for every moment, every play, and they kept believing to the last play. And that belief is a powerful thing, and that's what I'm going to keep believing in.
Thank you very much.
Thank you guys. That's right.
Oh no!
It was just as sad as I imagined.
Very sad.
It was
Let's
honestly
ride.
worse.
He like whispered it.
Yeah,
Let's
that's
ride.
right. Deadpan into the camera and say it's sad, but
Oh man, that's exactly how I imagined it.
I really thought he was gonna like
walking
look at the
off.
camera.
Yeah, me
and say,
too.
like, Let's ride.
No.
All right,
God.
I
you can't
agree.
not say it though.
He has to say
He's
it.
stuck now.
He's contractually
He
obligated.
has to do it. That's so sad. No matter how bad it gets, he has to do it.
It's so much easier to just say "Go Hawks."
Yeah,
Oh.
yeah.
He shouldn't have gone with the two-liner.
Oh God, that's right.
Mike Klisch just going for the jugular.
You thought the question from Mace to Melvin Gordon
Wow.
was rough last week. That was crazy. The commenter said he said so many words with so little meaning was very spot on.
Yeah.
One thing I'll say, I'm gonna pull a positive spin zone. I like that he actually looked like he was hurt by this.
Oh yeah.
Like
he's
he's so robotic
Yeah.
in so much that he does, and oftentimes like I just give him a break. Like you're a quarterback, you kind of have to like toe the company line. And I was kind of expecting him to just be like, hey, like that's ball, like so you win some, you lose some. What a battle out there that was, and kind of keep that positive tone. You could tell this really hurt him.
I mean, really quick, Ryan, that's what he did after the Raiders game. Was he was asked how disappointing is the loss, and he just said a lot of great things happened, and it was all positivity, and that hit so many fans the wrong way.
Yeah, tonight you could tell there was pain in his voice, and we're all feeling it. Broncos country is feeling it, so it was kind of comforting for me to see that, like, okay, Russell Wilson feels the gravity of this loss.
And it wasn't just a performance. He was at his locker for 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Russ is typically a guy that dresses the media in a suit after the game because he's already showered and gotten past that part of the game. No, he was still in his jersey there and just very down. And the thing about Russ is a lot of people like to dunk on him, and he feeds a lot of that by doing things. But he cares. And he puts in so much work. So he is taking this harder than any fan, I can guarantee that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And Jose said he should be pissed. He is. That is Russell Wilson, like, hurting, mad, upset. He was digging deep to try to find, like, positive cliches that he could pull out there.
And pissed isn't really something that I think he is after this game. I think he would be pissed
fair.
if he thinks that there was a bad call or like
he's upset.
KJ Hamler dropped the ball or something. That was all internal.
KJ Hamler would have loved to have an opportunity to drop the ball tonight.
He would have, because that wasn't the only play where KJ thought that he was open. I think Russ was just more disappointed and sad at himself.
Yep. Okay, let's get back to the super chat grind.
I think we're down to 12.
Ooh.
Oh, we
got that one.
I feel like they're not. Okay.
Yeah, they're not going away. What WTF is wrong with Russ?
He's not seeing the field and he's missing his throws.
Yeah, I mean the big one for me is the missed throws, which I feel like kind of came out of nowhere tonight in terms of missing that bad on guys who I thought were open. And, from Cleveland to the one I talked about, Judy on the big shot play early. There's the one to Cortland, which Cortland did drop, but it's like unnecessarily high. That tonight seemed like an outlier. That's why I just turned a little bit to the shoulder to be like, okay, does that explain any of this? We'll see. Only time will tell. But yeah.
I haven't been impressed with the accuracy all season. All camp even. I thought he was off, but it was definitely worse tonight. I mean, that one to Jerry that he overthrew, that was just like the play that Jerry got hurt on, except an even worse throw. You know, that's the one where he overthrew him a little bit and didn't lead him far enough, and so he wound up getting hit and landed on. This one is the exact same thing, but just an extra 5 yards downfield. So I do think it's easily the worst just throwing performance, but it hasn't been as clean as I thought it'd be.
Real quick, just from watching the play that Shane sent me, I don't understand why there's a rub route on the backside of a play, like where it's not the read.
Right.
That makes no sense to me.
Yeah,
the reason that KJ's wide open is because Jerry takes out 2 defenders. It's a perfectly designed rub.
Wide open.
It's exactly what I would want to call on 4th and 1 if I'm going to pass the ball. And it's essentially the old make them call it. And if they call it and you complete it and you score a touchdown, well, that's a bummer. You go back and kick the field goal and you're fine. It's a classic thing that people do on 4th down is let's cheat and hope they don't call it. And a lot of times the refs will not call it, especially in that situation. And, Jerry did a good job. It wasn't the clear, obvious, put your hands out and take out 2 guys. But why are you running that on the – that makes me think it was the read.
Right, which is concerning even more.
Because he never even peeked that way.
And it also seemed like Melvin Gordon was open on that play. Maybe not on a screenshot. I didn't look for Melvin on the screenshot, but specifically when watching the play, I think Melvin was open too. So multiple guys open.
He kind of gave up on his route. I didn't tune in.
Melvin?
I think he might have.
Yeah,
it might have been because he knew that the ball was getting thrown the other way, but it did feel like he was about to get a step and then just kind of cut up into the end zone.
He probably thought there was going to be a touchdown right behind his head to KJ Hamler wide open.
Yeah.
All right, next one. Media can spin this any way they want. The Broncos' future outlook hasn't been this awful since the 70s. We were stuck for years now.
I don't think we're spinning this much at all.
Yeah, I mean he's going mega big picture.
Yeah. But I mean we haven't even gone mega big picture.
Right, we haven't had time to.
Yeah, exactly.
How many games is
going.
7 years? 17 times 7. That's a lot of games. 7 times 17. So 119 games. We're 5 games in.
Yeah,
it's still early to be saying this is over.
There'll be 3 different coaches in that time.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Jeez, please no. Rashawn says, "Dude, how many times are we going to line up in shotgun with 1 yard to go? I don't understand."
I really don't either. It's not as bad as I don't know. It looks right now. Like it's not like this. Like a cardinal sin of a coach is to go shotgun on 4th and 1 or 3rd and 1. That being said, with the lack of success that it has generated, I would just expect them to get away from it.
Yep.
What doesn't make sense is Justin Out and pointed to that this week, said, what changed when the Broncos started scoring in the red zone? He said running the ball. Okay, well then just, that's what it is.
You score, I mean, yeah.
Maybe they played the 40 chess game and thought like, oh yeah, said this week.
Right.
Now we'll throw it.
They've
They'll
been listening.
never see it coming.
Right, exactly.
Can we just play checkers?
Right.
Do what you're good at.
Yep.
Next.
Naj says, coaching and terrible decisions by Wilson gave the game away. Inexcusable and reprehensible. Thank you.
New word for you?
I don't see the locker room sticking together through this. Any optimism I had is gone. So painful.
Wow. I mean, yeah.
Let's ride.
I think let's ride. I mean, the optimism has to be gone at this point. Like, it's just unrealistic to say, like, yeah, that's a playoff team out there. Now, 3 weeks from now, can we reevaluate? Sure.
Yeah.
As of right now, though, the optimism is dead.
Yeah, I mean,
Top 10 pick.
it sucks so much that this happened on Thursday Night Football because there's just no time. Like, we're gonna talk about this for so long, and what's crazy though is that if the Broncos just beat the Chargers on Monday Night Football, which poor America, they have to watch the Broncos on prime time again. Everything will be fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it's so far away.
If I told you the Broncos were going to go 1-1 today and Monday night, you would have picked the win to come against the Chargers.
Of course.
Now, it doesn't mean that that's going to happen.
Nope.
And if they do, I don't want to look too far out. If they lose that game, 3-game slide.
Yeah.
0-2 in the division.
It's.
Oh, boy.
I've already hit the panic button, so I don't know what else I can do.
Right.
I don't know what I can do from here.
Yeah. Tanner says, I hate that I care so much. We are in hell. Well, we're all there together.
Yeah, you should actually just be a Buffs fan. It's sweet. We don't care at all.
Oh, man. We love, and I think that's what makes this community so special is everyone cares so much, and we've been through what we thought was rock bottom for these past few years, and we still have a good time, and it's still a great community, and we're still here after games at 12:37 in the morning with 9 super chats to go still, and you guys are awesome tuning in still.
Hell yeah. I mean, as far as like just losses go, speaking of rock bottom, the stakes aren't high enough to compete with like 48, whatever it was in the Super Bowl. It can't compete with, the Ravens game.
Yeah.
But in terms of just like a regular season game, I think this is the worst a loss can be.
Yep.
Because you combine the expectations too.
Combine the expectations with the performance, with the fact that you should have won easily.
Yep. That I thought the game was over.
Yeah.
With 2:19 left.
So that's as low as you can go.
Yep. Really is. It is.
And national TV.
Yep.
Well, kind of. National streaming.
All right. Hey, shout out to Amazon.
Hell yeah.
Landon here saying, came from Kentucky to watch the game. Hard loss. Go Broncos.
I love that you're that's all you had to say.
And Jose says it's 1:37 in Panama.
Damn, that's
What?
It's 37
that's
minutes
1 hour ahead.
in.
damn. We're using military time.
Yeah,
Brighton.
we are in
Whoa.
Brighton.
I was
It's
like,
the
whoa,
same
what
time
is
in
this?
Brighton as it is Denver.
That's gotta be near Colorado Springs, yeah.
It's actually the opposite direction.
Really?
Welcome to Denver, Hank.
What's up with the military time then?
I don't know. It's probably was in the military.
Wow.
Only,
More military
You're
time.
only using military time if you're close to the springs.
That's what they would do?
Anything within a mile radius of Buckley Air Force Base as well.
It's like the official time of the military.
All right. Next.
Oh, boy.
Jordan
Shout out to
just
Jose
said,
tuning in with us at almost 2 a.m. his time.
Hell yeah.
Brandon said 2:38 in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Oh, shout out. Hope you have Friday off.
Jordan
have
just
Friday
said one
off?
Super Bowl.
We
No.
I think
don't.
we're working on Friday right
We
now.
already are,
Yeah.
yeah.
Shout out to Jordan. Thank you for the super
Thank you, Jordan.
chat. Seth says, sure sucks to be the team that every team, that every other team in the NFL has marked as a win and permanent effing black marker. Hopefully not the Jets.
Yeah.
A big
I mean,
mistake.
that's not true, but I understand.
We're
feeling
getting
that way right now.
we're getting closer. We're getting closer.
I'm scared to take a step back and look at this when we do in one of these pods coming up.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll feel better.
I'm scared to rewatch this game tomorrow
No,
morning.
it's
I
gonna
just
be
want to
real
keep
bad.
You
walking
mean today?
right into the
You should,
flames.
can
Yes,
you
this
you should
morning.
watch the game in 1.5 speed if
Oh,
possible.
yeah. You're not going to miss much.
No.
Desert Bronco says, why are we still running the ball every first down? At least once throw the ball downfield on first down so they know it's a threat.
Yeah, I didn't think that was that bad tonight. There was like the first down one to Salbert. He drops it. But then like 2 other times it worked on first down. Then they go to Tomlinson in the seam. It's wide open. Russ kind of throws it maybe a little too far on the back, but he's throwing it away from the defense. Like you just needed to make a play on it. They did throw the ball on first down. Then they got to a point, I think, where they were just like, we need to get the run going somehow, some way. And they finally did, and it made a huge difference on offense in terms of moving the ball. But I don't know.
Quick update from Reddit. Jets fans absolutely think they're beating the Broncos.
Oh,
my
Jesus.
God.
Yeah, we're gonna beat the Broncos, LMAO. We better beat these trash ass Broncos.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, you can imagine.
I mean, every team thinks they're going to beat any team that isn't playing well.
That's true.
We've
Especially
got
on national TV.
emotional support Viking 8:40 a.m. in Denmark.
Wow.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Better
Oh,
be
he's like a
seeing you in
legit
London.
Viking.
Yeah.
He's not like just a football
And
Viking.
definitely emotional supporting us.
Joseph said 4:39 p.m. here in Australia. Vibes are down leading up to tonight's date.
Oh, turn it around, bro.
I mean,
turn it around.
it's literally almost 5 p.m. somewhere for him.
You
Literally.
guys having Franks for dinner?
Yeah.
2:40
for me.
in Columbus. 2:40 here in Cincy, 1:39 here in Wichita. Everyone's hanging
guys
out with
are
us.
so dope.
We even
I'm
had
learning
a,
what time zones so many cities are in.
How about this one? Fort Collins. We got a shout out from Fort Collins. 12:39.
Henry, that's not by Colorado Springs.
No,
I know
it's
that.
not
I know that
opposite.
one. It's up north.
Emotional
That was
support
Brighton.
Viking said, "I am a legit Viking."
Let's
Hey.
go. All right. Back to the super chats, please. Logan Ito says, overreaction time. Sean Payton, we need you.
I'd
You
say a
got
lot of
it.
people in this chat are saying that's just reaction time.
Just regular reaction.
And you got to give him a reason to come. He's not going to show up just because you don't have a coach.
Yeah.
I mean, you have Russell Wilson.
You do.
That would be the selling point.
That would be the selling point. But also, I mean, other teams have quarterbacks too.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know who's on the hot seat. We're not going down that road. My brain hurts. But
Broncos are definitely the worst team with a supposed quarterback right now.
The Cowboys have
Dak.
who's that guy?
Cooper
no,
Rush.
Cooper Rush,
oh
exactly.
yeah, Cooper Rush. Yep.
4-0 is the starter.
Wow. Jordan again says, anyone have data on Russ's efficiency from pocket rollout scrambles versus time in Seattle? I think he's too short, but I don't know enough pre-Denver. I think he's too short.
Yes, we don't have that
literally too
data
short.
on hand
No,
tonight.
no,
Not
yeah,
on
and I'm
hand
also
tonight.
confused if that, too short of a sample size in
No,
Denver.
I think
not-
he's saying he's too short, so he needs to move
to
the
get
pocket.
out. Okay. Well, probably also too short of a sample size as
Yes,
of now in Denver.
would be a weird way of saying too small of a sample size. But yeah.
That's true. I don't know. We all get weird with our words at 12:43 a.m.
We do.
All right.
Jordan said, "Hey, I figured out super chats. Enjoy the extra $1."
Hell
Hey,
yeah.
thank
good,
you,
Jordan.
Thanks, Jordan. I think we have one left. Should we start the clock?
Yeah, we
Start the
should.
clock.
Let's
Let's
go.
start the clock.
Wait.
Kylie does
Yeah, I
this
have
now.
to do this.
All right, we're gonna start the clock. 2 minutes. Any super chats that come in the next 2 minutes, we're getting to. After that, we gotta go to bed.
Have us stay till
Yeah.
1 a.m.
Just kidding.
Hit
I'm
us
not.
with
I
tons of
will
super chats.
100% be up until the 3 o'clock hour.
I've got to
tonight.
write after this, and I don't want to, so procrastinate.
All right, from Michael, he says, Browns fan here. I just wanted to say I'm glad Russ said no to Cleveland, and if KJ wants out, I'm sure AB will give y'all a 5th. All love. Who's AB other than Antonio Brown?
That's who I think it is. If KJ wants out, I'm sure. Well,
Doesn't make
AB.
sense.
We'll give you.
Maybe that's the name of their the general manager.
So he's a Browns fan.
Oh, I bet it is.
We're just gonna go with it.
It's got to be it. It's got
Oh,
to be
Browns
if you're
fan.
still
Thanks
here-
for checking in and giving us a super
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah, thanks.
Andrew
Appreciate it.
Barry. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
That's
There
what we
we
call
go.
reasoning right there,
It
my
is the
friend.
Browns GM.
There we go.
How about
Someone
that?
said it's a Browns GM.
How have I never heard of him?
Do you want to go back to the poll?
I don't know.
Andrew Barry
Sounds-
really sounds like the fantasy guy.
Yes, Matthew Barry.
Yes. I think he was even dunking on the Broncos today. As
What
well.
did you say,
Everybody
Allie?
was.
I said the poll.
Oh, let's
We've
pay
got
off the poll.
434 votes.
That's awesome.
The question was, what is the number one thing to blame for this loss? With 50 votes, Russell Wilson's
50% of
play.
the vote.
50% of the votes, Russell Wilson's play. 25% of the votes, the entire offense. 22% of the votes, Nathaniel Hackett's coaching, and 3% said the offensive line.
Entire offense is a cop out.
Well, you kind of said it. So.
Yeah, we did. I think it would probably be even more heavily in Russell Wilson's favor.
Yeah.
It is
or the
surprising,
opposite
though,
of
that
favor.
Hackett is
Disfavor.
Hackett's
22%.
sliding by because
Yeah.
Russell Wilson threw 2 idiotic interceptions.
It's very true.
Yeah, totally.
At least he gave us a let's ride.
He did the saddest let's ride ever.
Let's ride.
That's right.
He's like, didn't he want to say it in the microphone?
to a shade.
I almost wondered for a second. He was like, I'm not gonna fucking say this.
I know.
He's like,
But
Broncos
committed.
country, and then just walks off.
Oh, it's such a silly thing too. He did not want to be silly at that time, but he's committed.
Oh my god.
He has to be silly after
Should've
every game, no
given,
matter
like,
what.
The sad selfie where it's like,
Oh yeah. The girl who's dancing.
Oh, we got
Right.
one.
Oh, buzzer beater.
Oh,
Logan says, here's a question. Knowing character of person versus play, Watson or Wilson, who would you rather have?
We'd rather have Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
We get to end on a positive note.
Also,
Russell Wilson,
Thanks
not
for the
Deshaun.
softball.
Yeah.
There's like 300 other quarterbacks you could have mentioned. That
Yeah.
Cooper Rush really put us on the
Huh,
spot.
he is cheap.
The Great Browse says, love y'all.
we love you
Love
guys.
you too.
All,
Who doesn't
every
love a
last one
great
of
Love
you.
everyone
Brown.
for hanging out with us until 12:46
The
a.m. or
700
whatever time it
people of
was
you.
for you.
Yep, this is super therapeutic for us, and it would be really weird if we didn't have an audience.
Yeah.
And we were just sitting in this room talking in a microphone.
About Franks.
It would be very weird if
Making
you were
Frank
sitting
jokes
in
with the
here
boys.
talking about
So
Franks.
thank you guys so much. Hit us with a thumbs up. We didn't do that. So like if you're mad, it's just, you know, it's not our fault.
Nope.
Oh,
Um,
yep.
Hit us with a thumbs up, subscribe, all that good stuff. And reportedly we'll be back tomorrow.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Let's ride.
All right.
Let's ride.
That's right.